Hey guys, it's your girl Jade Ashley and I am back for an all new video. I am back with another sip and chat. So if you're interested in seeing what I'm sipping on and what I'm about to chat about, then of course you know you gotta stay tuned for more. Okay y'all, so let's get into this video. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. So it's summertime. It's July 5th while I'm recording this, and I'm in my basement and we have like a big fan in here. So I had to obviously turn the fan off because I'm recording, so I'm hot. I just finished my face, so I'm not even gonna try to hold y'all just because I'm hot. I just had some topics I wanted to talk about. Everyone seemed to like the last sip and chat, you know, something new, and it gave variety, so I'm back to do it again. I am sipping on this mango Ciroc. Holla at me, sponsor your girl. What's up? This is actually my dad's. Like, the basement is like a bar area. I didn't make it to the liquor store to buy my own bottle, so I just had to you know, work with what we got. So that's what I'm sipping on, just to let y'all know. And obviously I can probably hear my drink in the microphone because that's like the ice and stuff, but we just going to, you know, get into the topics that I wanted to chat about while I'm sitting here sipping and stuff on this nice summer Saturday summer or whatever and stuff. So yeah, the first topic that I want to talk about during this sip and chat is the new season of the Showtime hit series The Chi. So I am a huge fan of that show, and if you are a huge fan of the show, you watch the show, then you know that the show is currently in its third season. The show just actually started last month at the end. I believe it was June 21st, and I think it was actually supposed to start today, which is July 5th, but I think they ended up pushing the premiere up a little bit, so it actually premiered June 21st, and today, as I'm recording, the third episode premieres. So what I did is I actually watched the show, or today's episode, a little bit earlier on demand. That way I can talk about it ahead of time before it actually like premieres on television, so this video can go up in time and, you know, I can be like, you know, on trend and stuff. So like I said, the season just started. We're 3 episodes in. I absolutely love the show. It's so great. What I want you guys to actually let me know in the comments is, do you guys want me to do like a weekly, you know, kind of like review of the show moving forward from, you know, here up until the end of the season? Because I see a lot of people, they actually do like reviews of shows and stuff like that. A friend of mine, India Monet, she's here on YouTube. I met her through YouTube, and I saw that she was doing like updates of when Insecure was on, and they were performing really well. People actually like really liked it, and I'm seeing that those type of videos actually do well. So if you guys want me to do like weekly updates of The Chi, definitely comment and let me know, because then I can just probably do that. Like, I can just watch the show early in the day and then have the video ready and stuff as soon as the show airs and whatnot. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk about the first 3 episodes, because I am kind of behind, but I absolutely love the show. So that's my show that we're watching this, you know, this summer and stuff like that. So The Chi, this season, being 3 episodes in, is very heavy. So I'm gonna have to obviously backtrack. So backtracking to the first episode of the season, and I'm sure if you guys watch the show, then you know I just want to give my opinion about it leading up until the new episode. So the first episode was jam-packed. Like the show, like I feel like The Chi, it gives you so many emotions in one episode. So you will literally be sad, you will be angry, you will be happy, like literally all within that 1 hour. So with that first episode, I was obviously sad just because going into this season, the one thing I knew that was going to happen was that Jason Mitchell's character, Brandon, was going to die. So if you live under a rock, if you're not paying attention to the things that happen in media and stuff like that, obviously he got fired from the show because there were like, you know, sexual assault allegations or whatever the case may be. It's like, that's like a whole nother story within itself. But what happened behind the scenes led to his termination on the show. And then Tiffany Boone, who played his girlfriend on the show, she was apparently one of the people that accused him, and she ended up leaving the show. So prior to the season even starting, they let us know that, you know, his character was going to be killed off. So I didn't know what to expect, but it's just kind of like, if you're a fan of the show, you've seen how far his character came. Just for his character to die, it was just like sad. So I knew it was coming, but I didn't know like how I was going to react. So, you know, the first episode started with, you know, Kevin and Keisha's mom getting married to this new lady. If you watch the show, like literally when she was getting married, I was like, I don't think this is the same lady we've been seeing like the other seasons and stuff like that. But, you know, she had a new girl. They got married, so it was like all of this happy stuff that was going on. You know, they were celebrating their mom's marriage and stuff like that. And then you see Kevin like get on the bus after the wedding, and you're like, where's Kevin going? Then he goes to Brandon's funeral. Now, I'm very, you know, heavy on social media, so like I was like me, I tweet during the shows. So like a lot of people, even though we knew that, you know, Brandon was dying, a lot of people like, we don't have closure with that. We don't know what happened. I think a lot of people were kind of like speculating that Doodah had something to do with Brandon's death. But just to know that, you know, Brandon lost his brother and then he was turning his life around, starting his business. Obviously, he got caught up in some stuff with Doodah or whatever and stuff like that. And then he just like dies. Like, it's literally, it was just like a funeral. He dies and that's just it. That's just all. That is all it is. And then the heartbreak continued because then, you know, Emmett and Brandon, they went back to the wedding because Emmett, you know, he's taking over Brandon's, you know, business. He's still trying to figure that shit out. But he's taking over the business, and at the wedding, you know, like they're in the back, like the kids. So there's like Jake, there's Papa, there's Kevin, it was some other little girl, and then, you know, Kevin's sister Keisha comes and stuff or whatever. So like they drinking like the wine. So then, you know, Jake pours it out and he's like, this is for my brother. So I'm like, oh my gosh, Reg died. Now with Reg, we seen Reg get shot on the last episode of season 2. But I think a part of us, like everyone, you know, people get shot and they survive. You just never know. So I think that whole time we were all hoping and praying that he was going to survive that shooting and stuff. But, you know, obviously that was, you know, Jake's way of like letting the audience know that Reg didn't survive. So that was that. So it was like, damn, we lost Brandon and we lost Reg. Like, it was just heartbreaking. It was just heartbreaking. And other than that, I think the one thing that I took away from that first episode was that we literally watched Kevin, Papa, and Jake literally grow up. I remember the scene where they invited the girls over because, you know, Kevin's mom, she was away on her honeymoon. Keisha was out doing what she was doing, and like he had the crib to himself. So like literally it was a moment in time during that first episode where it was kind of like, yo, we're literally watching them grow up. And I tweeted this, and Lena Waithe, she actually liked my tweet and stuff or whatever. You know, I had to, you know, I was like low-key hype, but you know, stuff like that happens on Twitter. So, but like literally it was a moment where, because you know, they invited the girls over, they were smoking weed and all of this other stuff, and then it's like, that's like honestly a part of growing up. So it was like, to me as a fan of the show, I was just sitting there thinking, and I was like, damn, we like literally watching them grow up like before our eyes. And for me, the little boy that plays Kevin, his name is Alex something. I'm gonna put his name on the screen. But for me, I first saw him as an actor in the movie Moonlight. That was my first time ever seeing him. So if you kind of like look back at Moonlight and then you look at like how he looks now as Kevin in season 3 of The Shy, we're literally witnessing him like literally grow up before our eyes, which I think is like pretty dope and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, they're growing up, like Jesus. the girls and the weed and all of this other stuff. Like literally, I was like, I feel like I'm old or whatever. But yeah, and I think my whole favorite thing of that whole situation was Papa and Maisha. Papa is like literally the best of the show. Like that's my favorite person of the show. So sip and chat, so I gotta sip while I'm chatting. But yeah, Papa and Maisha. So I just kind of feel like there's like literally a whole lot that's going on. Now obviously the big thing that's happening this season And it's obvious because the actress that plays Keisha, her name is Burgundy. I literally found out the other day her name is Burgundy, which I absolutely love. I think that's a beautiful name, Burgundy. And I can't remember her last name, but like all of the promo, like even like the poster, you see like she's kind of in the center. You see, so she has like her character kind of stepped up and is more like a starring role. So I was kind of wondering like what was it about her character that was gonna push her in the forefront. So if you know, you watch the first episode, she goes missing. So how it goes is like, you know, like I said, the mom is on the honeymoon. Kev got the crib to himself. She was supposed to be going to a party, and how her whole disappearance happens is she was sitting at the bus stop, and literally Ronnie's a hot ass mess, but Ronnie walks by, the bus comes, the bus opens, and she's not there. Her phone is on the floor and stuff like that. Now I know Ronnie has nothing to do with her disappearance, just because one, he's a drunk. Apparently he's homeless this season, and then like two, he's on like this whole road to redemption and stuff like that. So he's not kidnapping anybody. So literally when she went missing, I was like, Ronnie, he had nothing to do with it, trust me. Like there was nothing in my mind that made me think that Ronnie had anything to do with Keisha disappearing. But you know, literally that's like the main focal point of this season, is that Keisha's missing. So we go into episode 2. Let's just skip over to episode 2 and stuff like that. So, you know, Emmett, he is trying to, you know, carry Brandon's business. He's trying to, you know, kind of like finish what he started, just kind of keep the business alive and stuff like that. So what I admire about Emmett, who's played by Jacob Lattimore, is that he has this really entrepreneurial spirit and stuff like that. He got all this baby mama drama, whatever the case may be. I really thought it was kind of trifling how he sat there and he did not cater shit, but he catered this baby shower for his first baby mama. And what he literally did is that he did like Postmates and stuff like that and played it off like he cooked the food and stuff or whatever. So it was kind of like, nigga, you're supposed to be making money, not spending money. But yeah, I admire that, you know, that hustler's ambition about his character and stuff like that. He just wants to do well. Like there's like a lot that kind of goes wrong when it comes to his character, but I kind of feel like, you know, he means well and we see it and stuff like that. So I think episode 2 definitely kind of gave a little bit more insight to Emmett's character, as far as like his whole mindset on how he's going to continue this business that Brandon started. And in comes, you know, Lala's Anthony character. Now I know a lot of people like to play Lala when it comes to like her whole acting ability, but I definitely think that her time on Power kind of elevated her acting skills and stuff like that. So like obviously Keisha made it to like the last season, and you know, like she just developed as an actress. So I kind of felt like I was definitely feeling her character of Dominique on The Chi. Like when her character like came in, she, you know, she's like this cook and stuff or whatever, he enlisted her help and stuff. It was kind of like, yo, if you come work for me, you know, we could split the money, you know, down the middle and all of this other stuff. So I'm really excited to see like where her character and her and Emmett's, you know, kind of relationship on the show goes, as far as like the whole business side and everything. Like I'm really excited about that. Another thing that I want to talk about from episode 2 was Luke James. I love me some Luke James. Aside from Luke James being fine, Luke James is talented as hell, okay? Luke James, I had to take a long sip for Luke James. Because aside from him being fine, like he's literally talented. So we know he's a talented musician. But as an actor, it's just a whole nother situation. So, first of all, I'm happy that he's on The Chi, because I was a fan, and I still am a fan of Star from Fox. So it's literally been a year since Fox canceled Star. Fuck you, Fox, for that. So, but Luke James on The Chi, like I'm all the way here for it. So for him to be like the older brother. So, you know, there's Jake, Reg died, and then Luke James' character Trig. So he comes, he literally gets revenge. He shoots the people that's responsible for killing, you know, Reg. Like I'm like, yes, get all of revenge behind Reg dying, because we was not here for that. And then, you know, he's pretty much just trying to get his little brother back. The mother, who literally pretty much sold Drake to Doodah, I was just like, I know she was a crackhead, but did she really have to like sell him to like the head of the drug dealers? Like, I was just like, that shit baffled me. But by watching the second episode, I was just kind of like, the way Doodah is with Jake, I feel like Jake needs that discipline. Forget the money, forget, you know, him trying to run for whatever office and stuff that he's trying to run for, you know, Chicago and all of the other stuff. I kind of feel like Doodah, he does kind of give Jake that type of discipline that he never had ever in his life and stuff like that. So I'm kind of in the middle on whether or not Doodah should have him or not and stuff or whatever. But, you know, just, you know, Luke James's introduction into the show, I'm so here for it. Now, one thing that was kind of like a big talk on Twitter when it came for episode 2 was Luke James's character Trick. He has a girlfriend. Her name is Imani, I believe. I've been trying to find her social media. I haven't found her social media yet, but and I hope I'm not offending anybody. This is why I was like very careful on saying what I wanted to say when it came to her character. But his girlfriend, a lot of people were kind of I guess questioning her identity, I want to say. And what I liked about the scene in season 2, episode 2, excuse me, is that this is what happens when you sip and chat, you say shit you don't mean. But what I liked about that episode, there was a scene in episode 2 where, you know, they kind of went to like this bar. Turned out to be a gay bar and stuff like that, and he got into this fight with this guy and stuff like that. And she said to the guy, she's like, what is your pronoun? And I think, you know, in the world that we live in today, I think that should be like the question, like, what is your pronoun? Like, because for me, I'm here for the LGBTQ, you know, community. Like, I judge no one, I love everyone, you know, like, they're people just like us. And I'm sorry I touched my mic just now, but like, yeah. So what I liked about that episode was a lot of people were kind of questioning like if his girlfriend was a transgender woman, and that was the question from episode 1, and they answered that question from episode 2. And I mean, honestly, to have, you know, a transgender woman on the show, 1, I like it. 2, is not out of the ordinary given, you know, Lena Waithe's you know, she's, you know, Lena Waithe. So I like that she's kind of representing for that community in that way on this show now. So yeah, so that there was a question about whether or not his girlfriend was a transgender woman, and that was answered within, you know, episode 2. Yeah, I don't know, I'm here for Lena, you know, just pretty much representing for her community and stuff like that, and putting on like whatever. I'm here for it. I'm here. You see, I got my nails back, y'all. That's why I'm recording. I got my hair done. I got my nails back, so I could record now. So I could do this, and I could make noise. But anyway, and then episode 3, which is the episode that's coming out today. So yeah, it kind of, you know, starts with, or picks up with, you know, him saying, I'm not leaving without my sister and stuff like that, because he heard who the boyfriend was, and he went to the trap house to try to find her and all this other stuff. And then things kind of continue with the search for Keisha. So one thing that really did stick out to me was I love the way Keisha and Kevin's stepmom is when it comes to them. So I know that Keisha wasn't really, you know, I guess too happy about the stepmother. But that stepmother, when I tell you, that stepmother goes hard behind Keisha. Like, literally, she was, you know, literally showing her picture, walking around Chicago saying, have you seen this girl? All of this. Like, she really goes so hard. Dre is her name on the show. She goes so hard behind them, and I absolutely love that. So the fight to find Keisha is still, you know, obviously the focal point of the episode. Jason's mom, Tracy, she is kind of reintroduced back into the show and stuff like that. And to think that literally Tracy's character, or like her son being killed, is kind of like what, you know, started literally everything for this whole series and stuff like that. But just to see how far her character has come, you know, she lost a son, she started like a whole organization for mothers, who's lost children in Chicago and stuff like that. And, just her offering her help to Keisha's mom to, just kind of like, rally behind her when it comes to finding Keisha and stuff like that. Because, obviously the whole conversation of, missing Black children literally gets swept under the rug and stuff like that. So I think that's one thing that this show is kind of like placing highlight on when it comes to this season. Aside from that, another aspect that's kind of like being introduced or talked about this season is just the concept of family and friendship. Like I said, Trig, who's played by Luke James, is trying to get back into get into Jake's likes and stuff like that. So, Trig, he kind of like uses his ability to kind of help Jake. He's like, I don't risk my life, or I don't, do what I have to do unless it's family. And Jake is saying to him, Kev is my family. So, Trig and his girl, they run up in the trap house. They put the guns to all their heads and they trying to find Keisha. Unfortunately, they don't find Keisha, but I kind of feel like within that aspect of them trying to find Keisha, it kind of gave light to, girls who may go missing, or girls who are kind of like, stuck up in this lifestyle of, it was a lot of shit that was going on in that trap house. I want to say girls was being raped. That's what it looked like to me. But yeah, it's just like so much that's introduced. Ronnie, one thing I was saying about Ronnie's character is like Ronnie, he's pretty much a homeless man at this point. And with everything that was going on, I was just like, y'all, Ronnie out here like a whole homeless man. Does anybody know what happened to Miss Ethel, which is his grandmother? And episode 3, excuse me. This is what happens when you sip and chat. But episode 3, we finally see Miss Ethel. Like, I was like, what the fuck happened to Miss Ethel? Like, Ronnie's out here in the garbage cans. He's out here under the bridge. He's out here living his best homeless life. And what happened to him, or what happened to his grandmother? And Miss Ethel, she's now in a home. She's like losing her memory and stuff like that. And, Ronnie, he's out here getting beat up by the kids and stuff. And, Papa's dad, who's a pastor, saves him. Like, there's just, like, so much that's going on with this season. Like, I'm trying to, like, accumulate it all within one thing because I'm covering 3 episodes. But I kind of feel like that just gives me the gist of episode 1 through 3. So I'm, like, so excited, just to see what's going to happen within this season 3 of The Chi. It's such a good show. If you don't watch it, I definitely encourage you to watch it. And if you do watch it, like I said before, please comment below and let me know, do you want me to do weekly updates of The Chi? Let me know, because I would definitely do weekly updates and stuff like that. But and my next topic of the Sip and Chat, I have to talk about Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke's new album, Aim for the Stars, Shoot for the Moon, Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, something like that. I'm sipping and I'm chatting. But Pop Smoke's new album came out this week, and I love the album. I love the album. Now, there's so many things that kind of go through my mind when it comes to Pop Smoke. I kind of feel like I was definitely heartbroken behind his death. Like, literally February 19th, 2020. Like, I can't remember. I didn't work that day. So I literally kind of like woke up and looked at my phone just to see the news about him being shot and killed. And that honestly broke my heart. And I said literally from February, I just kind of felt like New Yorkers, people from Brooklyn, they felt it different when it came to his death. They just kind of like it felt different here. Like, I don't know, like, I just kind of felt like maybe we kind of got a taste of what LA felt like when Nipsey got killed, honestly, because it's just kind of like when you see someone working, you see them kind of like building up, and then literally for their life to just kind of like just be taken and be cut short. Like, it just hit different. It just hits different. But I commend his team for continuing his legacy. I commend his team for seeing forth putting out his debut album. And even though he's not here physically, he still got the summer on lock. Like, if you from New York, if you from any other 5 boroughs and stuff like that, when you got the summer on lock, with your music, you got the year. And I feel like he got the summer on lock. So his album came out Friday. So 12 o'clock, the album drops. I'm up. I literally listened to the whole album from start to finish. It's been like a real hot minute since I listened to an album from start to finish. But I listened to that album from start to finish. And I had to actually grab my phone. I gotta tell y'all. So I looked at I listened to the whole album from start to finish. And I'm fucking with the album. Like, literally, that's going to set the vibes. And I think, honestly, for me, I think what the sad part is that had he been here, the hype behind it would have been 100 times, like, just crazy. So I'm gonna just let y'all know off the rip. Like, after listening to the whole album, I think I listened to like the whole album like 3 times, like back to back. So my favorite songs from the album after listening to the whole album. So off the rip, my favorite songs was Gangsta, Yeah Yeah, Snitchin', Mood Swings with Little TJ, Something Special, What You Know About Love, Diana, Got It On Me, and then Tunnel Vision. Those were like all of my favorites, like just listening to the album. Now for me, I seen a lot of people on social media saying, oh, had Pop Smoke, like had he not died, like people wouldn't like really be jacking this album. Now I don't know about y'all, but I said this literally ever since he died. Listening to Pop Smoke's music here in New York was on a regular. That was regular, degular, schmegular shit. Like, there's not a time that you didn't turn on the radio that you didn't hear his music. There's not a time that when a car was driving down the street, you didn't hear his music blasting. That was regular shit here in New York, okay? So, when he died, I remember getting in the car the first time and listening to his music after he died. And it was just kind of like this feeling of, damn, they really did kill him, like seriously, because here in New York, we was already, Welcome to the Party, that shit was a hit last year to us. Like, to us in New York, that was a hit last year. And then Dior came out, Christopher Walken. Like, literally listening to Pop Smoke's music is a regular thing here in New York. So I think it hit different for us here in New York is because it's kind of like something that turns regular has like a different meaning. So when he got killed, I remember getting in the car the first time, and in my brain, like, I'm hearing his music and that's regular to me. But then at a certain moment, I'm realizing like, wow, like he's not here anymore. So to know that like someone like took his life, and then here we are, he got killed in February, we're in July, and no one has got caught for his murder. So it's like listening to that whole album, like literally halfway through the album, like I started getting emotional only for the simple fact that it's like, wow, like somebody really killed him. Nobody got charged for it. Nothing happened. And like, he's really gone. Like, I'm hurt behind it just because like he was somebody that was promising. He was somebody new in a rap game that was putting on for New York, that was putting on for Brooklyn and stuff like that. And someone just ended it. And it was just kind of like, I'm listening to the album sounds so good. Like, you know, he's definitely one of the newer artists in the industry that's putting on for like that whole Brooklyn drill theme that's kind of like going on, and he's not even here to enjoy it. Like, it's just like hard, like it's sad, like it's just, honestly, it's really sad. But it's definitely a well put together album. And like I said, the album dropped at 12. I listened to the album literally like 3 times back to back. And then that Friday, the day that the album came out, I was in a car. Y'all, this pandemic got me driving. I don't even like to drive like that, but I was driving, and I was, you know, driving to Fulton Street in Brooklyn. So I'm driving, I'm on my way to Fulton Street and stuff or whatever. They start playing songs on the radio from that album, and I just turn it up. Like, this is like a whole vibe. Like, honestly, a whole vibe. So for it to be a whole vibe and he's physically not here, you could just only imagine the vibe will be 10 times better if he was here. in real life. So I mean, I fuck with the album. Like, I don't know, it gotta be the New Yorker in me, it gotta be the Brooklyn girl in me. It honestly has to be, because it's like literally everything was just like a vibe. Like, I've been listening to it ever since it dropped, and it's sad, and I'm just hoping that this year doesn't end without somebody going down for his murder. Because when I think back to honestly February 19th 2020, I remember waking up, looking at my phone, and just seeing the news. Like, that's just, like, it's just crazy. And the fact that he was only 20, like, literally, we're in July, he was supposed to be turning 21 this month. He didn't even get a chance to turn 21. So, like, it's just, it's crazy. But, like, rest in peace to Pop Smoke. His debut album is here. If you haven't heard it, I would definitely recommend that you hear it. It's a vibe. Like, it's definitely a vibe. It's definitely some anthems for summer 2020 that's on there. And I can only imagine how crazy and how more significant shit would be if he was here. And I'm going to leave it at that. So my next topic I want to talk about during the sip and chat. I got to refill my drink. Give me a second. Okay, so my next topic for the sip and chat, I have to talk about, obviously, this was a main topic literally since this thing started, was the current state of the pandemic. So there's been a lot that's been happening within this past couple of months. I don't think, like I said probably before, I don't know if anyone's like ever lived through anything such as this, but this pandemic has literally been a bitch, literally. First and foremost, unfortunately, and I mentioned this before in my last sip and chat, that I knew somebody who was in the hospital. She was not in the hospital because of the pandemic, but literally, ultimately, the pandemic is what caused her to leave us. So, like, as someone who personally lost someone to this pandemic, I definitely take it like 100 times more serious than probably the average person and stuff like that. But the world, I want to say, it was slowly opening up, but honestly, I don't know where we stand, because a lot of places that started to opening up, they're like closing back down and stuff like that. People are still out here just moving as if this whole disease, I call it a disease, is still not moving rapidly. I seen something on Twitter earlier where someone was like, New Yorker is going, or they're like, COVID-19 cases are kind of surging in, Florida, Atlanta, and whatever other states and stuff like that. And then it's kind of like you literally watching people that you know from New York, like literally traveling to like these places. Now, granted, I understand, I want to leave, I want to have fun, I want to turn up, it's summertime, like I just want to enjoy life and all of this other stuff, but I'm literally scared to move. Like, I'm literally scared. Like, I don't want to be here in New York. Honestly, when the year started, you could not tell me that in July I was going to be in New York right now. Like, me and my friend, really, Kamara, but we literally planned on doing some traveling. Like, literally, y'all only seen one trip. DC for my birthday was just one. We were going to do way more than DC, and it's just kind of like literally everything stopped. Like, we were supposed to do something this month just for the simple fact that Kamara's birthday is this month, but it's just like we scared to move just for the simple fact that, like, states are opening or whatever the case may be, but then at the same time people are out here like moving as if like this shit really didn't like take other people's lives. So, like, for me, like I said, I was just driving the other day. Like, me, I don't really like driving just because this is New York. Like, it's hard to find parking. Like, it's just hard to like move with a car and stuff like that. So for me, I'm somebody, even though I have a car, even though I have a license and stuff like that, I'm never too good. Like, I would still get on the train, but I have not been on the train literally since March, and I'm scared to get on the train. So, like, for me alone, I don't even want to get on the train. But the fact that people are like out here traveling to these other states and stuff where like these cases are continuing to like kind of like surge and stuff like that, it's baffling to me. Honestly, it's really baffling to me. But yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I'm still kind of playing it safe. I'm still, like, I really don't do too much still to this day. Like, I've always worked from home, so like I'm still working from home, but other than that, I go to Target, I don't go nowhere outside of Target. I go to Walmart every once in a while. These lines outside the stores is so not odd, but I mean, that's like the new normal, I guess. Like, I'm hoping and praying we kind of like get to a place before this year is over where you can go places where cases are not, you know, spiking and kind of like resurging and stuff like that. But I'm just moving with precaution because, like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, this is just different. Like, it's just different. Like, I've never heard of anything or seen anything like this. And yeah, like I said, it's different. For me personally, it's different when you've been affected by it personally. So, like, the whole thing just kind of like just bust my head, honestly. But definitely kind of like comment, let me know your thoughts on this whole pandemic. It's still very much real. And if you don't think it's real, tap into reality, pretty much. But the last thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of feel like it's not right that I don't kind of like make a video on YouTube and not say anything, because I kind of feel like there's been a lot that happened since my last YouTube video. And I'm gonna keep it short only just because it's simple. Like, I feel like it's so simple, people kind of make it seem like it's not as simple. And that's just kind of like this whole Black Lives Matter movement, the uprisings that's been going on around the world and stuff like that. A lot of people kind of like, they try to make it harder than what it is. The simple fact of the matter is, for years, Black people and Black communities throughout the world have been killed and targeted at an alarming rate. And we're at a point in history where enough is enough. That's what it is. Enough is enough. So the death of George Floyd was literally, how I look at it, the tip of the iceberg. And we wasn't having it no more. The day that the George Floyd video came out, I was working. Me personally, I had to cover the story. I had to write about it. And as I'm seeing it going on, I'm watching the video. I had to stop the video. I couldn't watch the video in its entirety at first because it was heartbreaking. And it's just kind of like, what kind of human are you to see and hear a man say that he can't breathe? He's calling out for his mother, and you're on this man's neck, and then he stops moving, like he's no longer responding. And like, I was heartbroken and I was baffled behind it. But as a reporter, as a journalist and stuff like that, I have to continue to watch this. I have to continue, because at this point I have to, one, get the story out, but two, you know, you have to, at some point, in journalism, you're learned or you're taught to kind of like take your opinion out of certain things. But something like this, no. I had to watch it and I had to describe exactly what I seen, what I heard, what I felt within that one moment. So for me, it was honestly heartbreaking to watch the George Floyd video, first and foremost. Like, it was really honestly hard, number one. And the events that happened after his death, I didn't expect it, but I'm happy it happened. I'm happy that literally people all over the world just kind of took to the streets. Like, literally, I feel like this is a new civil rights movement. Like, this is a new uprising. Like, what is the term? We are our ancestors' wildest dreams and stuff like that. They fucking with the wrong generation, honestly. Like, we not with the shits. So, for me, I'm here for everything. I'm here for it. I'm not judging anybody. If the protests, people was out here looting and all of this other stuff, and it's just like me, I'm someone who has black brothers. I have a black father, and like literally even at a young age, I've always lived with kind of like this fear. So like I've always wanted them to be safe. Like for me, like growing up, like my dad is someone who like he kind of like works at nighttime. So like knowing up, I gotta get up early in the morning and go to school. I wouldn't go to sleep until I heard my father walk through the door. And if I didn't hear him walk through the door and I knew I was about to go to sleep, I would call him on the phone just to see where he was, if he was on his way home and stuff like that. Just because you just never know. Honestly, you never fucking know the world we kind of live in and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's just honestly the reality of growing up black in this world, in this community that we just kind of live in and stuff like that. So it is what it is. That's the truth. And I judge no one. I judge no one on their decisions. I feel like I do what I gotta do. I mean, there's like, I guess, quote unquote change that many corporations are trying to bring and stuff like that. Whether it's, you know, they're changing, you know, the names, you know, they want to change Aunt Jemima and stuff like that and stuff. But I mean, that's cute, but we just want the people to be held accountable for the things. So like the whole situation with Breonna Taylor was before, you know, George Floyd. I remember, you know, reading and reporting about the whole Breonna Taylor situation, and the simple fact that there was officers, there's 3 officers to be exact, that literally have not been charged for her death. Breonna Taylor was killed back in March, this July. The only thing that happened out of that situation is that one officer got fired. He's still at home with his family. He got fired. Niggas get fired every day, B. The fact of the matter is, when are y'all gonna arrest and charge the officers that killed Breonna Taylor? Ahmaud Arbery. To this day, I have not seen the actual video of when those white people killed him. But that situation happened back in February. And it's like, why is it that we live in a time where people kind of feel like, because they feel quote unquote threatened, that they think they have the audacity, they have the authority, they have the right to take someone's life? Like, literally, this world been fucked up. If we at a point where we not accepting the bare minimum, we not accepting the foolishness. So I feel like Black lives matter. People like to say all lives matter, this and that, and whatever other foolishness they try to, but it don't make no sense, my nigga. If people are still out here being killed at a rapid rate, if they're still out here being judged because of the color of their skin, if they're still out here being treated a certain way, how does all lives matter? So all lives matter, and that does not exist. That is not a fucking thing until Black Lives Matter. End of the story. It's simple. It's simple as 1 + 1 = 2, and that's that. So, like I said, I'm here for the movements. I'm here for whatever shits that needs to go down until they feel us, until they hear us, until the changes happens that needs to be happening. Like, you know, I feel like there's so many crevices and, you know, people trying to maneuver or whatever the case may be. But it's simple as that. It's simple as that. Literally. And that's it. So, to me, I kind of feel like that's everything that I need to talk about. Y'all can comment below. Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know if y'all want me to do more videos like this. If there's certain topics y'all want me to talk about in another Sip and Chat video, definitely comment below. And let me know your thoughts. And I think that's it. I think those are the things that were on my heart to talk about. I think those are the things that were kind of like the most relevant. That's kind of like going on right now. Definitely give this video a thumbs up. Definitely comment below. Definitely share it with your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your aunt, your dad, your grandpa, everyone. And if you're not subscribed, definitely be sure to subscribe. Other than that, I thank you guys for tuning in, and I will check y'all during my next video. So bye. Hey guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.